What's going on, guys, and welcome. You are now officially on a weird part of YouTube because there's no chance in hell that you sat down today and Googled the Flatiron Building. But inevitably, here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about this building because, well, there's a replica here in Gastown in Vancouver, and it reminds me of the one in New York City that I've seen a few times when I've gone. And the next time that you go, or if you ever go to New York City or you live in New York City, now when you take photos of it or you walk by it, you're going to know a thing or two about it. So let's jump right into it with some cool facts and talk about its history. First of all, the Flatiron Building was built in 1902, so that makes it almost 120 years old, which is pretty remarkable because this is one of the first buildings made of what? The Flatiron Building is made of steel. That's right, not iron, it's made of steel. The reason they call it the Flatiron Building, of course, is the shape. It looks like a flat iron. And rumor has it that the parcel of land that it sits on was actually called the Flatiron Parcel before the building was even constructed and looked like a long flat iron. So this remains today one of New York's most iconic buildings, standing 22 floors high. Its design and shape was simply to maximize the building's footprint. It's as simple as that, because it sat on a triangular parcel of land set on 5th Avenue, Broadway, and 22nd and 23rd Streets. Right, so that's kind of the reason why it's shaped the way it is. It's in an interesting part of the city where, what are they going to build there? They can't build a structure that's rectangular or square, right? And in fact, it wasn't even called the Flatiron Building until years after its construction, because when it was built, the Flatiron Building was called the Fuller Building, named after the architect George A. Fuller. And this served as the offices of the Fuller Company until 1929. And these are the same guys that also built the New York Times building in Times Square back in 1898. So these guys had some great experience with building. And Fuller to this day still has a building named after him on 57th Street, which is where the company moved in 1929 after they left the Flatiron Building. So this land was purchased back in 1900 for $2 million. That equals to $60 million today, adjusted for inflation, although the inflation calculator only starts from 1913, where the Federal Reserve started making bills. But give or take, $60 million. And now today, in today's dollars, it is worth $200 million. And there's not a whole lot that you can do with this building. So I know it doesn't sound like a lot. It's not 1.2 billion or something like that, because it is in the heart of Manhattan, but it's a small, weird building. Like, there's only going to be a certain amount of clients that are going to want to go to this building because A, the rent is high, and B, like, what are you gonna do with the offices in this building? It's a triangular building, so you really gotta work around that. And other than the Fuller Company, its uses over the years have really been to only house a few publishing companies that stayed long term, like Macmillan Publishing, being the largest tenant for many years in the building, who finally moved out in 2019. Already zoned by the city to allow it to become a hotel, the GFP Real Estate Group and the Sorgenti Group, who purchased the building in 2009, also headquartered in New York City, are planning to spend between $60 to $80 million in renovations. And these renovations include things like the removal of individual air conditioners attached to nearly every office window. So I'm really stoked for these renovations. This building is going to absolutely pop after these renovations are done. And if they do convert it to a luxury hotel, this would be a really cool place to stay in New York City. Really weird fact about this building is that at the beginning, the elevators operated on a water hydraulic system. So to get to the top floor, it took over 10 minutes to do that. Can you imagine? Like, let's take the stairs, baby. Like, why would you want to take 10 minutes to go up 20 flights of stairs? I mean, I guess in some cases you can't walk, but 10 minutes, can you imagine that? That's like 30 seconds of floor. And because it's a water hydraulic system, obviously there's gonna be water leaks. So talk about a job that's never gonna go out of style. A water hydraulic elevator repair person. Wow. Also, the original coal boilers are still housed in the basement too. So these things have been down there for 100 years, and they be chilling because there's no way that they're getting out anytime soon. During the 20th century, the basement of the Flatiron Building was actually a cabaret, and a big one too, 1,500 person capacity. So that place would have been bumping back in the day. And I'm sure you've seen it before in some movies. It's been in some Hollywood movies like Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. That face he makes, oh my god. And they actually filmed Godzilla on the rooftop as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. Subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more videos coming out soon. So stick around, and I'll see you guys on the next video.